And welcome back to the Xfinity Desk. Enigma6 once again getting ready to bring you the third match of the night. And we've got Team Envyus about to battle it out against Enigma6. And still a lot on the line for these two teams. We've talked about it a little bit before. Obviously, he's having a little bit of a hiccup with some of these players, and we've been jumping around a little
issues, things like that,
but thanks for working with us and staying with us, too. So, of course, Enigma6 looking to stay out of relegation and battle their way here into the finals. Team Envyus, on the other hand, looking to continue their domination and their holding of that #1 seed here against Optic Gaming.
And let's take a look at the game types that these guys are going to be playing on. It's going to be the Rig Strongholds to start. Truth Slayer, Coliseum CTF, Empire Strongholds, Coliseum Slayer. Now, Kyle and I, we filled for about 25, 45 hours about this whole series to start with, so we're not going to dabble too much in that.
Yeah, I mean, the Rig Strongholds, Truth Slayer. Now, the last time these two teams matched up, now, a lot of this has gone in favor of Team Envyus. It was a quick 3-0. We had a 3-0 Coliseum CTF. We had a 50-47, of course, like we said, that close game, and then that Eden Strongholds 100-10, the second 100-10 score that we've seen here recently.
Yeah, we were talking about that beforehand and how one-sided this series was, and then who was going to be the big players for E6 to step it up. And after thinking about it and talking about it for a while, really comes down to Kratos and Shooter. I mean, we know what Boobadooboo and Suspect are going to bring to the table. It really comes down to, because of their play styles, these two guys, the two guys that get in your face and create opportunities for E6, they have to be landing their shots. They have to be getting in there, playing smart and executing the right way.
Yeah, and I'm expecting another hard-fought series here. Putting a lot of weight here on Shooter and Kratos, especially to come in. You know, we mentioned it before. Kratos did not have the best performance we've seen from him yesterday, but Shooter, at the exact same time, had an off game. As long as these two guys can get that worked out here between them, between yesterday and today, I expect big things coming out of this squad. Like, we've seen Envy go down 2-0 to most teams like Most Wanted. And of course, you're taking a look at Enigma6. This is going to be a much stronger lineup. So clearly, yes, they do have the capability of upsetting Team Envy.
They definitely do, and it looks like they're playing from the blue side. So I'd like to see them go immediately for this nest and try to make their way over towards the basement. Instead, it looks like a Boobadooboo flank over towards the BR base, and he picks off Snipedown before Snipedown can even get that. However, Hook drops down with the railgun, doesn't get the reset on Boobadooboo's side, and they take BR base. So you do get Nest right now if you're E6, but you didn't get the railgun out of Hook's hands. Hook is trapped over here. That's easily grenaded area. Here comes the flood over from Suspector, but perfect awareness coming in from Hook and capturing Nest single-handedly.
Yeah, he read him like a book. He knew exactly what he's going to do, jump over the top of that wall, mini wall there on Nest, and was immediately taken out by the railgun shot. So Hook timed that one perfectly, using that radar to full advantage.
This is going to be a kind of a sticky situation for E6 because they have no positioning on the map right now, and everybody has the numbers advantage on the side of Envy. So this could be either a triple cap, or they can just elect back and slow play it. And because they don't have any weapons or no power-ups, they're going to elect to back off. And I agree with this decision. Now, looks like Kratos ends up sticking Shooter there. So not sure what happened there, but that's not going to help out the fantasy stats of Shooter right there. And I think that also takes a kill away from Kratos too. So that's going to be a reset right now for E6. They're going to have to make a push, and it looks like that push is going to be towards the basement, Kyle.
That's actually a really good question. Do people get a kill minus for a betrayal?
I think so. I mean, it happens obviously in a Slayer game, so I would assume that I would do the same thing. I haven't betrayed a teammate in a very long time, honestly.
I doubt that, Tom.
I have fallen off the map a couple times.
Yeah, that's a good question. I might have to look that up.
It's weird. I used to betray people in other Halos way much more than I do in Halo 5.
Okay. I can see, well, people have good chances of thrusting away from your grenades that you throw
at them. That's true. That's true. Maybe I'm just not as good at Halo 5 as I was in previous Halo, so I just don't get as many kills on other players or teammates. But no, I'm just kidding. I'm not too bad, guys.
Yeah, we should play tonight, though.
I'm down. We could play tonight.
All right, either way, though, Hook is playing right now, and he's got the railgun. Ooh, great location here from Is that Kratos?
That's Kratos, yeah.
Oh, almost gets it. Not going to be able to do so. Great job by Mikwin actually getting a reset there on the hill. You do see there are players in basement. Great job. Hook secures another railgun shot. He does have 2 shots here left in this weapon, and he's just hanging out. We've seen this spot be used so effectively, and when you're grabbing kills, you have stronghold control, and now you're getting rewarded with a camo. This is a rough start here for E6.
Book just looking so comfortable and in control. Eventually drops to Boo Boo Doo Boo. Triple cap only temporarily for Envy. Nice shots by Shooter. Taking down, I believe that was Mikwin. So that should maybe possibly open up the map for these guys. I don't think that it's going to, though, after they do just slow play that BR-based capture. So they had to do that because they are getting triple capped on. So that's just the belly of the beast there. It's unfortunate. You're going up against Envy, who they just take everything on the map. If you give them an inch, they're going to take it, and it's just so difficult to come back when you've already getting triple capped on, especially when you give the weapons to a player like Snipedown.
Yeah, and taking a look at some of Snipedown's sexy stats over here, 14.38 kills per game, lots of assists, and fairly good, just KDA coming out of him.
Definitely. Here comes the barrels push, though. On the side of E6, is Envy going to be able to communicate this to one another and shut it down? Here comes Snipedown with the rotation. 2 players are going to be in basement. That's going to be one that drops. It's Kratos looking for more players because there was 2. So there they are. Shooter is in front of him, and then you have another player that is behind. So I don't think this is going to work for E6.
Yeah, Hook wins that 1v1 against Shooter there. You got players trying to capture basement. They will have 3 people over here, and they grab another kill on Kratos, make that another triple cap, and they know they're going to be coming off spawn here on Carbine. If they're able to rotate quickly enough, they can find themselves another numbers advantage, and having 74 points already in this game, they may be able to close this one out with this triple capture they have right now.
Yeah, this is virtually over right now. This has been a strong setup from the side of Envy. E6 hasn't been able to break it, not even once. Let's check the stats, Kyle. Stats.
All right, stats. Here we go.
Ooh. Wow, so many slays right now. Look at that, 12 and 11 for Pistola, and you only had, what, like 10, 15 kills on the side of E6, so amazing individual and team performance coming out from Envy, and that's a triple cap. I don't see this happening anytime soon for E6. Game number 1, more than likely, unless something phenomenal happens on the side of E6. This is going to be all over for them.
Yeah, 1 or 2 kills out of Envyus' side will secure themselves the win here. Nobody's in basement yet. They're already at 96 points. They need to start getting this hill now. You do have Nest starting to be captured here by Boo Boo Doo Boo. We'll see if he's able to grab it in time. He needs this to go over in their favor here right now, and yes, they do make it in time, just barely.
Squeaking it out. We saw this a couple times yesterday, but the team that got 99 always won. And it wasn't such a one-sided game either way, where it was 99 to 15. It was usually like 90 to 50 or something along those lines. So you have to play absolutely perfect right now, and it doesn't happen. That's going to be first game, game number 1, going on over to Envy in pretty dominating fashion. Mikwin's like, "Hey, go ahead, guys, have 3 times the 3 times the amount of kills."
That's right. Mikwin was doing all the objective that game.
Yeah, he was. He was just like, "Hey guys, whatever. I'm just going to be hanging out over here." But it was all Hook with this railgun. That was the big difference maker to start this game. And once they got control, they never gave it up. E6 didn't seem like they were very coordinated. Only 2 coordinated pushes over towards the barrel side out of maybe 5 or 6. So they have to work together as a team and just slow it down, take a breath, try to reset here going into game number 2, which is going to be Slayer Truth.
And Envy just executed the triple caps really effectively that game. When they did focus on BR base, they had 2 to 3 members collapsing there, securing the kills, and the rotations back to Carbine side to catch players off spawn and try to force another numbers advantage was working out really well in their favor.
This is a scary score, 100 to 17, because you look at the previous series that these guys played in week 3, day 2. Yeah, it was Stellar instead of Shooter, which Enigma6 has now, but it was 100 to 10 in strongholds on Eden. So not that much improvement from the previous strongholds only a couple weeks ago. It was about 5 weeks ago, I would say, because we did have that small little bye week, I guess you can say, here in the HCS. So again, they have to reset here. It's Slayer Truth, completely different game type, obviously, than Strongholds to Rig, but they seemed outmatched, outmanned in every way, shape, and form in that game type.
Yeah, I mean, we just saw amazing things from everyone when they had the power weapon. Snipe Down was putting up some serious numbers. I mean, we saw 12 kills out of all three players, exceeding the number of kills from anyone there on Enigma6. Now, of course, Mickwin was sitting at 4 kills, but when you're winning a game 100-17, there are only so many kills to go around in a 12-minute game.
That's right. So it's just extremely fast, extremely disciplined there, and just not enough coordination for E6. And I don't know if it's because of that, because it wasn't enough coordination, or if it was just perfectly executed for Envy. It could have been either one. It could have been a little bit of both. Who knows? But just going to have to brush it off moving in and having a good strategy here to start the game, because Boo, yeah, that was an okay flank towards the SMG. I personally don't feel like anyone should be going over towards that side of the map. It doesn't offer anything towards securing the nest. It doesn't offer anything towards securing the basement. It doesn't help towards the camo. It doesn't help towards the railgun. It's kind of just a useless kill in my opinion. So I really feel like the beginning strategy for E6, even though they did capture both of those strongholds, didn't work out too well.
Yeah, but we do have the players set up here in game number 2. Slayer on the truth. E6 looking to bounce back after a disappointing game number 1 loss here to Team Envy. We're starting this off with Suspector as he's immediately pushing out towards Car's side. He needs to step up big for this team. We didn't see much out of him last game. They're not out of this one yet, and like we said, if they want to make it to finals, they really need to start right here.
Definitely, this is going to be a game type where they can get some more communication going. It's not going to be as wild. You're going to not be on spawn nearly as much. How many times did we see, Kratos spawn over in the bunker and just get railgun? And it's just very hard, even if you're the best players in the world, to get out of that spawn trap because of, how well everyone's playing right at this point. So that's the start that they needed. 4-3, yeah, it's not a very one lopsided game quite yet. It's just now you're in the running. Now you can start to trade kills. Now you can start getting a feel for how this NB team is playing.
Yeah, no team really having that much better of a start than the other, considering especially that camo was also burnt, and it's still tied up now 4-4. No one's been able to grab that fuel rod. You got Suspector trying to put down some cover fire here with the battle rifle from P3. He's got help from another player in P2. They do not know that there is no one over here by P side of the map, and Envy's doing a great job staying alive top center. However, too much pressure coming out of Enigma6 as they're able to secure 3 kills, take the lead, and now fuel rod going in the hands of Boo Boo Doo Boo.
This is perfect for E6, especially because you have your power weapon in Boo Boo Doo Boo's hands, who's going to be putting serious work in. Nice shots coming in from Kratos, winning that 1v1 onto Hook. Had a little bit of a positional advantage in terms of height, but
yeah,
looks like
a
they
bad
have
challenge.
Yeah, it looks like everyone's now trapped though on the side of Envy, so they're finally feeling the pressure for E6 for the first time in this series. Now, let's see how long E6 can keep this up, because we saw how long Envy can hold a setup in a Strongholds game on the rig. What can happen here if you're E6 on Slayer Truth? You have everyone trapped over in red. Now's your time to slowly pull away.
Yeah, and you see they are making a push over here towards Car side as Kratos gets taken down by Pistola, who has that assault rifle out. Snipe Down gets a kill from another player top Car with some perfect shots. 12-7, starting nice job pushing out of the base and starting to see some map control. Hook jumping around, doing what he can to stay alive. Boo Boo Doo Boo just focused on him, throws the nade, not gonna be able to get the kill. Finally, that plasma nade will go ahead and secure that one. You got the new camo. I don't believe it has spawned here quite yet, but it should be up right now as Mickwin is pushing into bottom, or P1, to try and contest that here. Looks like those players will be taken out. Hook now is on a flank, and take a quick peek at the stats here.
Suspector has 2, 4, and 1, so it's helped for 6 kills for his team and only 1 death, even though he's in last place in kills for his team, being a big contribution towards the lead so far. And it's an 8-kill lead, which is completely surprising based on the first game that we saw, which was 100-17. So let's see what Shooter can do over here. He has Fuel Rod with multiple shots in it and powerful position into P2. Could elect to go over towards the face to grab the battle rifle, but instead he's going to charge over towards red, help his teammate Kratos. Sees another player on his radar. That player is smart for not dropping. Got to be careful here in this situation if you're Shooter, because now you were in a powerful position P2, but you've overextended to help your teammate.
Now he knows there's a player hiding up behind or above him there. Pistola does thrust to avoid that first fuel rod shot, but not going to put enough damage down here on Shooter to make any kind of real difference. Snipe Down getting trapped top center. It looks like, I mean, Envy, they're going top center a whole lot, and it's not working out in their favor quite as well. E6 knows what to do to set up and prevent them from really grabbing control from that.
One of the things that E6 is doing really well is controlling the amount of real estate in this game type and just trapping Envy into little corridors, whether that's, at red base or blue base, whether that's a car bubble. And the way that you do that is you maintain ping control, but you also control one of the bases at the same time. So you're forcing the players to spawn on the same side of the map. If you get into a situation where you're at pink and you have players at car, but yet they're at red and blue, that's not the ideal situation. You have to clear the players out of the base very similar that you would have to in a regress layer.
And here we go as Shooter is pushing out towards P side of the base, trying to work with his teammate there that's sitting over towards P3. Pretty even or similar setups here between both teams. The Pink Tower definitely on lockdown. As you can see, those 3-player outlines jumping around in there as Shooter's able to grab 2, potentially 3 here as he will grab. He will or he won't. He won't grab that kill. It looked like he was about to have it. Pistola going clutch zone, picks up a trade.
Was possibly a clip for the Shooter montage. And he's the king of racking up 3 kills in a row, but Pistola gonna shut that one down. And this is getting a little bit out of hand, Kyle, for Envy. I mean, E6, they're playing this way better than they did in the first game. It's looking like we may have a series on our hands.
Yeah, and Snipe Down jumping out car side, looking for a challenge there. That one, didn't make too much sense to do there as he had no help. Maybe he's just trying to prevent his teammates from spawning with him, but they're going to spawn over on car side either way. So Snipe Down getting taken out here by Bubu This 12-kill lead, something we weren't expecting to see as we see now Bubu with the fuel rod and the sword. How effectively is he going to be able to use this combo though? Because this is going to be a difficult one to really use effectively.
Not really sure, but he's putting down some decent damage onto Hook, taking him down to no shields. 3 players trapped at car. This is what we've said numerous times. Controlling both of the bases, controlling pink, trapping them at car, or just controlling car, controlling P2, controlling one of the bases and trapping them at the base. E6 hasn't given up the spawns even once so far, so this has been a really well executed game by them. And Bubu with the long range fuel rods across the map because he doesn't have a medium to long range weapon. So
he got 1 kill with it though.
It's working out well for him. Yeah. This is reminding me a little bit of that Optic Gaming versus Allegiance series where game number 1 was just completely lopsided for Optic Gaming, and then all of a sudden you have Allegiance almost staking Optic Gaming in Plaza Slayer to follow the Plaza strongholds. So completely different storyline here in game 2.
Yeah, I mean, this is getting a little bit ridiculous. We said, what kind of E6 is actually going to be the ones to show up here today? And it looks like they just weren't around for game number 1, but they're in full force for game number 2.
Yeah, they just woke up a little bit, and this is pretty scary because just as we were saying with Optic Gaming, we haven't seen them lose a game this bad here in the Pro League. I don't think we've seen Envy lose a game this bad, and it's going to be to Allegiance and E6, who are sitting respectively, I believe, in 5th and 8th.
Yeah, I think you're right there. Now we do see a lot more action here. P2 Bubu about to win that 1v1, get some help from Suspector and a frag nade to take out Hook. 4 kills away from securing this. Maybe even looking at a steak dinner if they're able to keep this momentum up. We're not going to have to worry about any more power-ups or power weapons in the game. Snipe Down answers back with a kill of his own on the player P2. Now all of a sudden, 46-29, a couple unanswered kills here from Envy. Will they be able to get anything going, or will E6 be able to close this one out? Only time will tell, but picking up trades is not going to be what you want to do if you're Envy right now, as they are still miles away from bringing this back.
No steak for these guys. Maybe maybe a burger, I guess you could have if you get the 30-something kills, but it's just scary to see Envy get dominated like this after such a fantastic performance in the previous game, and makes me wonder what the cap is for E6 and what's the Envy team when they're playing bad, because we haven't seen them play bad except against Team Liquid where they lost 3-0. So if they're capable of having bad games, this isn't something that we've seen from them since the first week.
Yeah, like you said, that first week when they were 3-0'd by Team Liquid in a pretty convincing fashion. But there you have it there as Snipe Down gets taken out by Shooter. 50-33, game number 2 victory coming out. And looking at the stats here, Shooter, like we suspected. Shooter and Suspector, like we suspected. 15-8, 14-9, putting up some big numbers here, leading this team for victory. Bubu 12-6. And that's pretty surprising, too, because, Bubu maybe not as many kills, but low deaths and having sword and fuel rod on lockdown, just keeping it out of the enemy team's hands, can pay off here for your squad.
It just shows that Bubu was locking down a position, and while that was happening, you have players like Shooter who was getting extremely aggressive. Now, I thought he was going to pick up that triple kill. Was definitely expecting him to, but it doesn't matter in the grand scheme of things because these guys had complete control the entire time, and Again, Kyle, a lot of it did have to do with that pink control and with the fuel rods, so you're gonna have to reset right now on the other side. Just like E6 reset after the first game, that's what Envy's gonna have to do here, because now we're moving into CTF Coliseum, which both of these teams did play against each other in their previous match in week 3, day 2, and that was a hot 3-0 on the side of Envy for one of E6's stronger game types. So we'll find out what's gonna happen here. This is gonna be the swing game. In my opinion, whoever wins this is gonna win the series.
I mean, it's definitely a good position to be in, taking the series lead 2-1 after this game will finish. Now, we do have the players getting set up in game, so we'll be into this one very, very shortly here. But Coliseum CTF 3-0 last time in favor of Envy, but E6 has definitely made a lot of improvements here since we've seen them last play on it, and they've had a lot of success here in the weeks following week number 3 when these two teams matched up here. Now, who do you want to start this off with, Tom?
Let's go with a little bit of Suspector point of view, if we could, please, because again, he's a little bit of a under the radar type of guy. We haven't, seen much of him in terms of putting up big stats, but that doesn't mean he's not able to do so. And here it goes, a little bit of Suspector action, making his way over towards the Snipe Street. What's gonna be the plan here? Multiple grenades going by him and zooming by him, but he doesn't have much support because it's a little bit delayed. There goes a grenade coming in. Book throwing the splinter, but Boo coming in with the help. That's gonna be 3 kills coming in for E6, almost 4. Snipe down last guy alive, trying to skedaddle underneath the base, and that's a dream start here for E6.
Yeah, they couldn't have hoped for anything better as Kratos goes ahead and finishes off Snipe down there. Hook's on the flag, gets a trade with Suspector, so that's going to be good for them to try to start or hold off this push a little bit. Pistola there on the flag, no shields, just hiding, waiting for his shields to charge. I like Boobadoo to back up here. Good job by him. He's got some help from teammates over here at Catwalk. 2 members, actually, as you see Kratos and Shooter running around. Now, Snipe down gets a great sticky nade. Somehow on those boxer settings, not sure how he always does that, but does secure yet another trade in his situation, which is going to be what you want to see when they don't have positioning and they don't have power weapons.
Always thought Boxer was one of the weirdest settings to play in Halo, right next to Legacy.
I played 1 tournament on Boxer.
And how'd you do?
We got 3rd.
Yeah.
The agency.
Yeah, not your best placing, Kyle, ever, but either way, yeah, I don't know how Rona does it with that, but this is a fantastic opportunity for the Envy squad. After the phenomenal start from E6, they get the weapons back in their hands. They're going to toss this flag. Now, are they just going to bait it? It looks like they are going to slow play this one. Book's going to wait for his shields. There goes the cover fire coming in from Ola. Even though he's not able to connect the shot, he's going to scare that player down on the Rocket Street, and he's going to back off. Ola going to stay alive. This looks like an easy flag cap. It's going to be 1-0 for Envy.
Yeah, and Pistola does hit a body shot there. He's got 2 players on him right now. Misses 1 snipe. He needs to hit these shots here. Oh, and he does hit it. Last player above him. Kratos will finally drop down and finish off the kill there. Tries to go for a ground pound, but the Star Killer medal coming out as Hook shuts him down. 1 shot left in this sniper as the flag is being moved out. So whether or not they're going to be able to make any kind of real strides here with this one on securing it, that's another story. A Shooter gets taken out. Numbers advantage here back over in Envy, and map control as well. Mikwin now with the Rockets.
You got to be careful that you don't get counter-capped, though, because even though you want to get the objective done and you want to try to get a capture that you shouldn't have gotten, that leaves you susceptible against a good team like Envy to get punished for it. So you got to be very careful that you are using the flag to regain map control. That's the key. You're not going to capture against Envy if they have the weapons. So use the flag to get the weapons back, get the slays, and then run it.
Ooh, and a lot of action here happening in window as Pistola picks up 2 kills. 3rd player on the flag. Boobadoo gets hit by a frag grenade. He's going to be taking no shield. Snipe down, being able to grab a flagpole, but not get fully out the window before he is taken out. Suspector moving up, looking for a return as Mikwin picks up a kill on Shooter. He also gets finishes off by Suspector. Now Suspector pushing in, secures himself 2 kills as he's trying to help his team over here at Snipe's side of the map and secures yet a 3rd kill. So map control is going to be moving over here back in the favor of Enigma6. Lots of action happening here over at the fountain. Great splinter nade too. You can just see how dangerous those grenades can be, especially when you bounce them off the wall. We've been seeing that a lot here today on Plaza and Coliseum.
It's so hard to get in and get the flag pulled, though, when you have players sitting in the back of the base. Primarily, it's a snipe down over here with the sniper rifle. Suspector finally creeping around, picks up 1 kill, but not able to infiltrate the base there for Envy. Now, Boo, he's in a pretty poor position, so I'd like to see him get up top here if he can, over towards top catwalk, or maybe go up the lift and try to add some pressure over here towards the sniper player. So that's what he does, makes his way over towards the maze, laying down a couple of annoying shots onto Mikwin's gonna back Mikwin off, and there goes the push in towards the base right now, though, for the E6 squad. It's gonna take a couple players, though, to make the push. The Spectre comes in with the SMG. Can Spectre get another kill and the flag? Rocket's going on over to Hook. Hook's gonna try to shut down this pull. Ends up missing the rocket, but does weaken him. That's gonna be good enough to get the kill, but nice job at least tossing that flag towards the 50-yard line.
Now, Tom, would you have shot that second rocket? I think he may have suicided going for it, but at the same time, he didn't even shoot it anyway. Now he turns over both to E6.
Yeah, it's important to try to use as much of that ammo as possible, but it doesn't seem like E6 is going to be able to get this flag, and that's unfortunate for them because that flag was pretty far. It's just that you have weapons in the hands. You had Hook with the rockets, obviously didn't get that many kills with them, and then you have Ola over here with the sniper rifle who just gave Shooter the beatdown over towards the elbow. So time to regroup here if you're E6, try to find out what you can do with this one rocket that Spectre does have. And what you're going to need to have is a player to charge over for the flag. So there it is. There's 3 dead on the side of Envy, but where is the objective work? Where's the flyers? Where's are the people that are going to charge in towards the window for E6 to get the objective done? Yeah,
like where's Commonly have to run in there and already have 2 flags pulled? But either way, he's actually not on this team. I'm just kidding. Spectre gets taken out. Pistola has a sniper rifle, but looks like he in fact is out of ammo here now. Immediately looking for some weapon to drop that port. Unable to find any. However, still carbine, but look at his ammo here. He's not gonna have any ammo in either weapon here in a moment.
Yeah, pulling a Roy here. Running out of ammo very quickly. So there it is. Switches on over, picks up that battle rifle. That's what you like to see. Want to see some Ola point of view, laying down some sick battle rifle shots like it was Halo 2 over here, trying to find Boo Doo, who did get the flag fairly far. But this is what I'm talking about, Kyle. You have to be very careful that you don't get counter-capped, because even though it looks good, it's just a bait on the side of Envy. They're waiting for you to make that mistake. They want to capitalize.
And I'm really curious who this is going to work out in favor for, because Pistola was over at Maze and ran all the way back to his own flag and then flanked around elbow side. So, you know, really big commitment to come all the way back to your base in that situation. And now we're looking at a flag standoff. But Mikwin getting that sniper is going to help out a lot, but he challenges too hard. Shooter with perfect shot secures a kill.
He wasn't really trying to challenge as much as he was sort of challenging, I guess you could say. Like, he wasn't expecting to get perfected and to die that quickly was the problem there. So that's unfortunate for him. I was expecting possibly a thrust around the corner, but again, perfect shots from, I believe that was Shooter, to take him down instantly. So now Spectre rewarded over here, 3 rockets. This is a great opportunity again to try to get some momentum here for E6. They need a cap. They need to get back into this. 5 minutes left, and keep in mind, guys, if E6 does get a capture here and we do go to 0 on the clock when it's tied 1-1, we will be going into overtime, and we've seen so many games from E6 go the distance.
Ooh, and Spectre wants to charge into window, but sees a player hiding all the way back, red flag. Not confident with thrust here in this game that he's going to be able to shoot that long-range rocket and secure a kill. However, he does get some good damage down. Flag is being moved across still. You got Boo Doo and Shooter collapsing in the window, but they're being pushed back fairly quickly here by these Envyus members. Now Shooter grabs a double, but make that a triple kill here. And Kratos secures a flag return, and now all of a sudden we're tied back up. If he can grab this kill on Pistola, and he's not going to be able to do so.
Yeah, he thrusted, and the thrust route that he took maybe just gave Ola a little bit of advantage that made Ola pop back out. So that's just unfortunate for Kratos, because that could have potentially been maybe not another flag pull, but at least a pull out towards bottom center. And if they could have got a couple more slays, they could have ran that one. But Spectre does pick up double, and now Shooter is going to get into the cave here, maybe able to put in a little bit of work. And E6, they've seemed to kind of pick it up a notch. They've seemed to find their footing here in this series and in this specific game, and making Envy look a little bit uncomfortable.
Yeah, new sniper just came up as well. Snipdown is pushing in below blue base here, trying to be a distraction for his team. Once the action slows down a little bit, we'll take a look at the stats, see who has been stepping it up for both of these lineups. We have another flagpole here coming down the favor of E6, but Boo Doo with the rockets grabs a 2-for-1 there. Another player over in window does get taken out.
All dead.
4 dead right now. 23 kills from Spectre. We've been talking about him. He's been flying under the radar lately, but not here in Coliseum, as he is putting on a performance.
There it is. That's going to be cap number 2 going on over to Enigma6. They're up in this game 2-1. Series all knotted up at 1 each. And this is not what we were expecting. This was definitely, in my opinion, a heavily favored game for Envy, or a heavily favored series. Now, this game in specific, you said, yeah, we know E6 is fully capable, but in the previous matchup, it was a 3-0.
Wow, and Shooter just picked up a triple kill in Envy's base. Now, they were able to come off spawn and prevent that counter or a cap from happening there. Snipedown getting rewarded with a sniper off spawn, so this is really going to come down to Snipedown's hands. He's able to start getting hot with this weapon and, you know, pulling some Royal 2 action. We may be able to see Envy start tying the series up. Not a whole lot of time left to play, but that's how it starts.
Thought he was going to challenge that one there. This is an interesting situation because 2.5 minutes left. Yeah, anything can happen. We've seen even Lethal pull a flag with 15 seconds left and still come back to win the game, but you don't want to try to be in that situation right now if you're Envy. So what looked like a really good situation after Snipedown got that headshot ends up to a possible counter here right now for E6. They're smelling blood. They just put the pressure on, got the sniper out of the hands of Snipedown, picked up a couple of kills. Boo-Boo found that weapon off the ground too, and they're possibly running this last flag in.
Yeah, and Boo was taken out, but as Suspector kills the Snipedown, one player over here by Snipe Tower about to get double teamed. This isn't looking good for this Envy lineup. You got Boo now moving that flag over, about to cap that, and then all of a sudden, that's a 2-1 series lead here, going in favor of E6 and Suspector. It was his game this time around. We saw amazing plays with the pistol, the rockets, the sniper rifle, 2 flag captures, and a return coming from him as well. He was just all over the place.
Suspector by far the MVP in CTF Coliseum, and now E6 1 game away from moving up in the ranks, and they really need this one, especially against a team like Envy that nobody predicted these guys to even take 2 games from, let alone possibly 3. So they're looking for a little bit of revenge from UGC, Kyle, and trying to get back into the summer or into the fall finals like they were in the summer.
And Shooter here, that was the double. Actually turned that one into a triple here. Snipedown with that amazing airborne snapshot there. Just great overall play from Enigma6. Team Envy is just not really able to get the ball rolling here. They had moments of greatness, but just too little overall, and not enough flag pulls coming from there. And on the other hand, every time we had Enigma6 collapse in the base, and even 2 or 3 of those collapses did not pan out in their favor, but they were just having so many more members push all the way into the base when those flags were pulled.
And when they got an opportunity to push in and run the flag, they did it. And it was a couple of times where they ran in there, got aggressive, got the flag while they were getting slays too. So multiple caps from coordinated pushes and other ones from kind of just wild pushes that they were trying to make things happen. And now they're in really prime position, but we did see a very lopsided game 1 on strongholds. Comes down to the beginning strategies here. Can you lock down this pit? Can you get the overshield timing so you can have it for the rest of the game? We'll find out right now.
Snipedown immediately pushing up, missing the jump just a little bit, but still grabbing that splinter nade, pushing over to contest here for overshield. Now we got another tweet here coming in from the community. Let's go, fellas. Envy, Halo, HCS. Got some Envy fans coming in here too, or watching the stream, wanting their favorite team, that #1 seed, to secure another victory here over E6.
So Snipedown's going to elect to push over towards blue, as you do have E6 capture red. And look at that, a barrel kill coming in from Snipedown onto Shooter. Has to be frustrating right there if you're Shooter. Here's the thing though, everyone's spawning insecurity and the triple cap coming in. Oh, they don't get the triple cap. Ola went for the melee, and there's the reset though. So that's gonna slow down the push for Envy, and now that's gonna almost overextend Snipedown into a position that he doesn't want to be in the pit area, and possible pit going on over to E6. But no, the slay's not enough for these guys. The spawn's too much. Obviously, as soon as Envy comes right back and they spawn on that red platform, where else are they gonna, or that blue platform, where else are they gonna look? besides towards the pit.
Yeah, I mean, and we already know Envy is really good here on these stronghold game types, and you can tell that by that game number 1 here. Pistola picking up a few kills. So it's going to be a good numbers advantage here going over to Team Envy right now as they secure a triple cap, and this is going to be a big testament to E6 and what they're going to be able to do going forward, how they're going to break out of this setup. They are spawning over here at blue base. Got about another 30 seconds or so before the overshield comes up. Sniped realizing he is in a bad position, trying to find a new angle. It's going to work out in his favor. He grabs not 1, 2, maybe make that 3 kills. Triple kill, and now they're another triple cap coming out in their favor of Team Envy.
After teaming with Sniped for a couple years, when he goes and gets a play like that, you can expect him to carry that throughout the rest of the game, throughout the rest of the series, maybe even going huge in Game 5, just because of a very small little outplay like that. He really rides the momentum from plays like that and seeing his opponents being in his own montage, I guess you can say. So we'll see what happens as Rona just adding more pressure here with that DMR on that outside fan towards the red base. And this is what they do. Optic Gaming and Envy, they're the kings of just locking down strongholds, whether that's a triple cap or whether that's a double cap. Both of these teams play this almost to perfection.
Yeah, I mean, and here we got some more action going on. The Suspector grabbing another 2 kills here. Pistola answers back with a triple, or excuse me, with a perfect.
Over. Get it. Oh, all right.
Maybe, not quite though. Oh, Shooter going clutch there, securing those kills. But, I mean, with everything that's happening, E6 is not really making any kind of strides to get back into this here yet. We've already broken the 50-point or the halfway mark here for Team Envy, and they are not showing any signs of letting up, and I think they're going to get a reset here in pit.
I think they have awoken the monsters that are Team Envy, because they are looking pretty upset about that last game, which was CTF Coliseum. And they didn't want this one to go to a Game 5, so.
They want 100-0 this game. That's what they're going for right now. And it's working out pretty well in their favor. And, you know, a lot of that comes back to Sniped's triple kill, being in a bad position and turning it into a montage clip.
Definitely, that was a very big play there, and that was an outside push from E6 that if Sniped misses that jump, they get away with that, and then they end up racking up a couple points, because the plan is obviously to go outside, and if it's available, you want to go for the pit, but typically you're going for the other outside base. But there's a triple cap and counting. The bleeding does stop as Kratos does capture blue base here. Overshield's dropping, and that's what E6 is going to need to get back into this one. The question is are they going to have to capture the pit in the meantime, because the game is just getting out of control, Kyle. By the time that the overshield comes up, it's going to be about 84 points there for these guys.
Oh, and looks like Sniped jumped into a splinter nade. I think there was a betrayal there, because Shooter, I believe, had already died in that location. Now that hill is going over here. Pistola jumping in, trying to get that contest, a reset, and he does get it. 3 members of E6 in the hill.
Wow.
Pistola turns that into a stopping the stronghold capture and a double kill in his favor. Take a look at the stats here real quick. 14 kills. Now look at Spectre. Really, Spectre and Shooter, the 2 players from E6, really trying to help out this squad, but not being able to do enough. Is you have a lot of struggling going on here.
Yeah, I mean, it's Kratos and it's Shooter, and yeah, they're up 2-1 in the series, but you don't want to try to go to a Game 5. You want to try to win this one, because once Envy gets awoken, once Sniped starts getting those clips onto you, he starts putting it on, and this is looking like a possible goose right now for the side of E6. And we talked about Shooter, we talked about Kratos. These are the guys that need to go big for E6 in order for them to win this series, and they're dropping the ball here in game number 4, but good opportunity for these guys to put the past behind them and bounce back strong here in a possible game number 5, which definitely going to be going to this one. You have Pook contesting the pit. It's going to be a goose. E6 drops game number 4 to Envy 100-0. Look at those stats.
And that's the first time, I think, in Pro League that we have seen a 100. Of course, there have been a few in online scrims and things, but not in when it all matters during the Pro League. And with those stats, Suspector 13 kills, so doing all he can. Sniped at 17. And then Boo Boo, Dubu, and Kratos were the ones really struggling this time around here. 4 kills from Boo Boo, Dubu, 3 kills from Kratos. So they're going to really need to step this up here in game number 5. They're going to expect to come away with a series win.
Definitely in game number 5, if you guys are wondering, it will be Slayer on Coliseum. Multiple weapons on this one. You're going to have rockets, you're going to have sniper, you're going to have scatter shot. very doable for E6. We've seen them win Coliseum already. CTF Coliseum on your screen, 3-1. They've already won a Slayer, 50-33. The only games they have lost have been strongholds, and they've been fairly one-sided. So anything could happen here in game number 5. Kyle, let's get your predictions.
Game number 5, Coliseum Slayer. Predictions, I got to go over to Envyus. They're just playing extremely...
Safe bet. All right, well, I'm going to go the unsafe bet, and I'm going to go with E6.
I mean, they did come out and take that game number 4, or game number 3.
Game number 3, and then game number 2, but it was crazy. I never saw Envy get dominated so much in a Slayer as they did in that game. It was what, Slayer Truth, right? Yeah,
50-34.
This is another one. Yeah, there's weapons on this map, but this is another one of those rotational game types here. So we'll find out. It's gonna come down to the beginning here. Snipe down. It is. It always comes down to the beginning.
I love that line for sure.
It comes down to the beginning because you have Snipe Down who's riding that momentum. I want to stay on board with Snipe Down and see if he goes for the sniper, if he goes for the rockets, because if he gets a weapon to start this game, guaranteed killing spree.
I mean, and this is going to be a hard loss for Envy if they just come out in game 4 and 100-0 someone and then lose in game number 5, just not being able to continue or carry on any of that momentum.
Interesting strategy here from Snipe Down. He's coming in with a mega flank. And I haven't seen this play, but I do like that. It causes a lot of commotion over towards that snipe side of the map. Unfortunately, it seems to be sniffed out for E6, and they did send more members over towards the snipe side of the map than E6, or for Envy, which means Envy should have secured the rockets.
All right, now really close game getting this started as Pistola is over here towards top rockets, but has not been able to make a commitment to actually secure those weapons as the grenades are coming in from Kratos, and he's going to get taken out.
That's big for Kratos to get that kill. Who killed him just as he was able to throw those across the map. And you also have Suspector with the sniper rifle too. So look at this. This is a great scenario here for E6, doubling the amount of kills so far for Envy and keeping the weapons out of Snipe Down's hands. That's all you can ask for. There goes the sniper rifle. He's going to snip it out. So expect Snipe Down to come for Suspector anytime now. Suspector is going to have to rotate, get out of there. I'd like to see him make his way over towards the elbow if he can.
Yeah, now Suspector did not even know the player was initially there, but just predicted someone was going to want to run over to the sneaking, and does rip Mikwin's face off there, who gets taken out top rockets. Kratos has the rockets in their hand, and this is an amazing start, exactly what E6 was hoping for, and nobody, I don't think, was expecting after that game number 1 for it to go like this.
Definitely not. And look at Snipe Down. He's still alive on the back of the pyramid somehow. Fantastic job by him, creating tons of havoc over there. But meanwhile, Suspector doing an even better job by going on a killing spree. So who from Envy is going to be able to shut this guy down? Because, well, I believe it was CTF Coliseum where he had most kills in the game. And now him and Boo Boo Dubu combined for 11-0, Kyle.
And Mikwin goes back up onto the sneak. He almost gets taken out a second time in the row. Suspector just hitting the body shot on that player. Now full sniper control is over here in favor of Enigma6, or excuse me, Team Envyus. But just like that, Suspector is going to get collapsed on here by Snipe Down. And what Snipe Down didn't know is that he was already out of sniper ammo. The 14-10, starting to make a little bit of a comeback here as Boo Boo Dubu has some great grenades coming in from blue window. It's going to be a fight here, top catwalk. Not being able to secure that kill here quite yet, but he will need...
What? Are you kidding me? That scatter shot killed him? He was so far away. That should have been a definite kill, but instead it's a triple kill for Boo Boo Dubu, putting on a show so far in game number 5. And
this is not looking good.
Who else right now besides Boo Boo Dubu? This guy, he's gone silent long enough here in the last couple of days. He wants to put on a clinic, and that's exactly what he's doing, but it's only a 5-kill game, and he's been pretty stellar so far.
The stellar reference, I like that one there. To Suspector over here at blue window now working on the flanks. Sniper rifle did just come up. Boo Boo Dubu secures a kill. Matt, still a constant battle here for sniper control, as neither team can really lock down this position. Pistola trying to answer back as he's got the rockets in his hand now. Down only by 5 kills, so still anybody's game, but we will go ahead and take a look at Pistola as 3 members of Team Envyus are now pushing up towards Pyramid. 1 rocket here left in the chamber for Pistola. Does spot the Suspector hiding below Sneaky, not going to be sneaky enough there, and down to a 3-kill lead. This is a little scary considering how many great plays we just saw in an Enigma6, and then how close the series actually is, or the score of this game actually is.
Yeah, for sure. Let's check the stats when we get another death here from a player. Now it's a 1-kill lead here, and it's slowed down just a little bit. So let's see, Shooter 0, 7, and 7. Meanwhile, you have Boo Boo Doo sitting at 11 kills. So Shooter trying to find his way in this game so far, not able to do so. Same kind of story as his previous Game 5, where he racked up tons of assists, but not a lot of kills.
Yeah, I mean, he definitely had a rough Game 5 last night, and now we're looking at a rough start to Game 5 here as Team Envyus, or no, excuse me, Enigma6 still in the lead here by 2 kills. Action happening bottom center. Boo Boo Doo will take out Hook. Hook's scatter shot not going to be as powerful as Boo Boo Doo's as he rushes in to snipe one. Still maintaining 3-kill lead. Pistola with the new set of rockets coming up again. And
yeah, Pistola's been big with those rockets. That's what you need to get back into this one, because you saw the amazing snipes coming from Suspector. You saw Boo Boo Doo putting in some work. So now Snipedown finding a weapon of his own. Kratos, though, with the scatter shot, he's going to have a say in it. And there it is. Ola comes in, shuts it down, picks up the double kill. And we were just talking about how big those rockets are. 3 rocket shots, 3 rocket kills, and Sniper in Snipedown's hands.
And we're halfway through this game, and it is all tied up. Now Enigma6 grabbing a kill here on Hook. So Shooter finally getting on the board there with a beatdown on Hook. Take another quick look at the stats. 1, 8, and 8 now. 12 and 7 out of Boo Boo Doo. So now Snipedown's getting to a position he wants to be in. He's got a lot of different angles. 2 kills going over in favor of Envy. And the last 2 members of E6 trapped on red flag.
It's going to slow down here just a little bit. Rockets coming up in about 40 seconds. E6, they like to bring things to a standstill, so I would expect them to play sneaky just like that. Shooter picking up, I think, his 2nd kill of the game. Not sure if that sniper fell off, but if it was still on the map, you gotta suspect that he does have it in his back pocket. So here goes Kratos getting a kill onto Hook. That's a nice kill, considering the position that he was in. But there it is. The sniper was found. Is it still on the map? I think it
Definitely
fell
not
off.
anymore,
So
yeah.
Ola leaves that one, and now is going to push over. And look at this, 5 kills now. Make that 6-kill lead for Envy. What happened to E6?
They just knew I predicted them to win, and they're going to come out and prove me right here, Tom.
I guess so, but it really happened with Pistola. I mean,
and the Rockets.
Pistola and those rockets was the big difference maker, and we've seen Pistola on the rocket side of the map for quite a while. Does he get the stick onto that player? He does, and lives, thrusting back away from Suspector. The Wizard in at it again.
Dodges 2 rockets. That is not...
And Makwin gets the kill.
And we're talking about the coming down towards the middle to late part of the game here. And now finally an 8-kill lead over in favor of Envy, as they still have Sniper Tower, snipe control on lockdown. I thought A6 was going to be able to make another run when they were able to take over Sniper without Snipedown seeing them and actually secure that kill, but it's not going to be enough as Pistola is still winning all of these 1v1 battles. He is 15 and 4, Tom.
Wow. We were wondering who it was, and we knew it was Ola with the rockets, but we didn't know it was Ola with the everything, with the no-scope to the face on Shooter, insult to injury, rubbing salt in the wounds. Ola putting on a show in a clinic here in game number 5. He's on a running riot. Are you kidding me?
Dude, Pistola, the game 5 Wizard, absolutely taking over control of this game. Power player. I don't even know if I've seen that medal. Either way, sneaky ledge. You got Kratos trying to run away, but 5 kills away from Team Envyus, closing the door here on Enigma6, securing another win and that much closer to locking in #1 seed.
Well, Cal's never seen a power player medal, guys, so we all know that he's never put up big stats, especially in a game number 5 here in Halo 5. But we all know what Ola is doing.
I get stuck doing the objective, Tom.
Do you? Understandable as always, but this has been one of the most dominating game 5s I've ever seen here in the HCS. Just rack up all the medals if you're Ola.
I always get the easy target medal. I don't know what's going on here. Pistola's still alive, and wow.
He went on a 15 spree.
4.
Maybe it was a 16 spree, so he was 2 and 4 at one point, and then didn't die the rest of the game. Amazing display of skill there coming from Pistola. and we saw Boo Boo Doo Boo. We were like, wow, Boo Boo Doo Boo, he's the best player in this game right now in game number 5. After that death from Pistola, I don't know if he even died the rest of the game.
I mean, Suspector was doing all he could to start that one off. He was really positive in the beginning here.
And this scatter shot was so long range.
Yeah, that was insane. I've never killed anyone with a scatter shot that far away. I can barely kill anyone with a scatter shot anyway.
He was jumping, but it was just weird. And then that was Ola. This is definitely part of his spree. He ran 2 different sets of rockets and then found the sniper. So that's just amazing job staying alive from him. And there it is, the icing on the cake. Put the cherry on top. Shooter, poor Shooter.
And look at that. You can just tell how good Pistola is. He snipes and then immediately crouches. He hits that shot, so it doesn't even matter anyway, but he's prepared to stay alive should he miss that shot. And that just shows you how good some of these guys are. 3-2 series victory win for Team Envyus over E6. And E6, they've got to be hurting after that one. They were in such prime position to take the series, and then getting 100 0'd, and then kind of blowing a big lead that they had there in game number 5. Yep. They were up by at least 5 kills in the 20 point mark.
Yeah, success, hope, respect, and Ola is what happened to them there. And you got to give it to him, man. That was one of the most impressive game 5s I've ever seen from anybody across a handful of Halos. To drop a running riot in that position with, you know, everything on the line, your team being down, everybody needing somebody to step up. And we saw Snipe Down step it up in the previous game, and then Ola there. So you just got to give it to those guys. Phenomenal, phenomenal game.
All right, and we do have our win review coming up here. We've got Mikawin from Team Envyus joining us here. Mikawin, obviously, congrats. That was an amazing series. Just walk us through a little bit of that game number 5.
All I heard was Eric and Marcus, because they were behind Ola at the condos, just like screaming, "Go Ola, good stuff, Ola." Obviously that's a little censored, but I don't know. Like I looked, we were down by like, I don't even remember, like 8 or 9, and I'm just like, I hit back and I have like 5 deaths, and we're down by, you know, a lot, and I was just like, I'm playing this game so much slower. So the rest of the game I just played it really slow, and then we were able to claw back in.
Now, why was this series in particular so back and forth as far as the games and just taking turns, coming out and dominating each other? Like a 100-0, I believe, I'm 99% sure that's the first 100-0 we've seen in the Strongholds here in the Pro League. You know, what makes you think that this series has just gone back and forth so much depending on those game types?
My fault. I played awful, to be honest. I played pretty well yesterday, but today I did not play well at all. I was... The flag game I didn't play well at all. The Truth Slayer, I mean, we got destroyed, but I don't think I played well in that at all either. So I'm gonna take full blame.
You make a good point about, you know, a couple of things, but that's cool that you're accepting responsibility for that. I had a question because yesterday we saw Snipe Down in his interview talk about how he doesn't feel like you guys were nearly playing your best and that he was kind of playing off today. What can you do to help make sure that those type of things can't happen? What kind of steps can you take throughout your day to try to ensure that you are playing your best?
Practice more. We weren't able to get a lot of practice this week, and thus I wasn't able to play a lot of like very uber competitive matches throughout the week because they went to UGC and they didn't get back until Tuesday. So we only had one night of scrims between last week's Pro League and this week's. So now that we're going to be able to play, we're just going to be able to scrim and then be able to get back into the groove.
All right, now, how did your team feel, you know, playing with Lethal at UGC St. Louis as opposed to coming back with you on the squad? Of course, they won there. You guys win here today. You know, was it easy to jump back into the rotation there? And, you know, and were they comfortable playing with Lethal at St. Louis?
I haven't really talked to him about it, and said it didn't really feel too different. It's just they felt like TJ and I do some similar things in game, so they're thankful for that.
All right, good deal. Well, Mikawin, that was an absolute insane and entertaining series to watch. Congratulations. Tell Pistola from both of us that we said that was one of the best Game 5 performances that we've ever seen. And, you know, best of luck next week.
Thank you so much. Have a good one, guys.
Wow, that was just a rehash on that. That was insane.
Yeah, I wish that we could get that whole, you know, spree, that whole 15 spree uploaded from Pistola onto YouTube or whatever that may be, because that was a very, very strong performance, which looked to be an E6 win. So you touched base on it a little bit, Kyle. It has to be a heartbreaking loss. You know, Shooter's been on the end of so many Game 5 losses when he was already with Allegiance, and now a couple here with E6. So you got to feel for these guys, but they're going to have to brush it off because there's still next week to be played for them.
And of course, these teams are battling, 1 to make it to finals and 2 to stay out of relegation. And if you kind of want to see how you can get involved in that, you may be able to start participating in the relegation matches. You can play through the open circuit, find yourself in the top 2 teams from there, and then battle to try and take the spots from some of these Pro League teams. Find out all the information about the open circuit and how you can participate. Make sure you head over to the link at the bottom of your screen. That's halo.gg. Now that does it for our match number 3, an insane Game 5 series where Envyus comes out ahead. And coming up next, we're going to have Straight Rip It battling Evil Geniuses in the final match of the night. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.